All right. So last week, you guys should have written a couple of story mountains. One of the mountain was the kind of the teaching one that we did. It was based on the story that we read to you. The second one was a story mountain that was supposed to be based on a story you are going to write. Okay, a story you are going to write. Now, when we write stories, and really when we're reading stories, and I know I've talked about this before, it is so important that your story have a very good hook. That hook is what's going to make the reader keep reading after the first paragraph. Okay? So there are 5 different hooks we're going to learn about. I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 of them today, and then you are going to be using those hooks to write your story. Well, you're going to write just that first paragraph 3 times for your story, using an interesting fact, using a description, and using a sound. Okay? And remember, this story, I suggested I really would like it to be based on something that has truly happened to you, because those are the easiest stories for us to write, the stories about things that we have experienced. Okay? Your story also, when you have your final product, it's going to need to have a problem and a solution. You're going to need to talk about the characters and the setting in your story. Okay, those are the things that are going to make it a true story. Again, a story should not end up being just 1 paragraph total. It should be multiple paragraphs. Okay, so let's look at these 3 types of hooks for today. The first one is an interesting fact. And when we talk about an interesting fact, we want to surprise the reader with a true statement. Surprise the reader with a true statement. All of the examples I'm going to give you could have gone with the same story. They're all about a kiddo and the morning of his birthday. Okay, so they're all hooks for the same story, but they just are different styles. So an interesting fact could be, on November 22nd, I had woken up to a new day 3,652 times. I had brushed my teeth probably 5,844 times. I think I've eaten pizza at least 500 times. If you figure I started making my bed when I was 3, then I've done that many times too. On November 22nd, I was 10 years old. Okay, so there you can see they took the fact that they're waking up on their birthday and they have made it into some true statements, right? The number of times you've woken up, the number of times you've brushed your teeth or eaten pizza. Those are some true statements that are really kind of interesting facts that are going to make the reader want to continue reading on. And notice they didn't just give 1 sentence. They had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They had 5 sentences in there. So when you do yours, I put down 4 or more sentences. So you should have 4 or more sentences creating a hook for your story mountain using an interesting fact. Okay. The next style of hook is a description. And in a description, you use details to describe the characters and the setting. So again, playing off of our birthday story, here is a hook that would be considered a description hook. The house was quiet. I looked around the living room. The colorful twisting streamers swung gently in the breeze from the open window. Each place at the table was decorated with matching napkins, paper plates, and a treat bag. My brother had decorated Dad's chair with blue and green balloons, especially for me. I hugged myself with excitement. Soon, my friends would be here for my birthday. Okay, so they are really doing a great job of describing the room and what the area looks like in that example of a hook. Okay, that kind of goes along with some of the writing we did last week. Remember where we had like the room was a mess and we had to really expand upon that? The last one is sound. Describe the sounds heard by the main character. And it doesn't mean like, well, here, let me read this. Bang, pow, peals of laughter filled the hall. We were jumping on the balloons filled with treats that my mom had just given to us. Floob, a balloon sailed around the room as the air spilled from it. We all laughed again as Chris chased his balloon down. So far, I was having a terrific birthday party. So they're using those sound words to really show us what it would sound like at the birthday party. Again, I know that some of your topics might seem kind of hard to write hooks down for them using these different types, but you're going to need to really think hard and get creative and create 4 sentences for each one of these types of hooks for the same story. Now, trying to make sure I'm really clear in my directions. You're not continuing your story. This isn't 3 paragraphs that go in a row with your story. It would be 3 totally separate first thing they're going to read when they read your story. And then when we're finished, we're going to pick our favorite ones. But these are 3 different ways you could write a story about whatever topic it is you are choosing to write about. Okay, 3 totally different ways. In your lessons, I believe the page I was just reading to you is in there. Let me see. Oh, I think I went into this the wrong way. Let me come back. Because what I assigned to you is that page that you saw that I was just looking at that has the type of hook and the description, and then it gives you space for you to write your own example. Again, based on your story mountain for the story you're going to read. Oh, it's not in there. Okay, I am going to put in here, wait, maybe I can't scroll down all the way. Oh, it's not in here yet. I'm going to put in here my page that has an example of what each one of those hooks would look like. So you'll be able to find that in there to reference. So when you're like, sound, well, what would that be? You'll be able to go and read the sound sample that I'm putting in there to know what a sound hook should look like, and so on. There are 2 others on this page, but we're not going to be doing those other 2 until tomorrow. So you are just worried about interesting fact, description, and sound. Okay? So let's take a moment to take out our planners. I'm sure there are questions. I will get to your questions in just a minute, but let's